Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube chess channel, Beauty of Chess 64. Today we are going to look at a game between Stockfish 8 and AlphaZero and learn how open files are very important in chess. We won't go and we don't need to go very deep in the analysis of the game per se, which we will at one crucial point, but the takeaway from the game will be how to open lines and use that to attack the enemy. This game will give you a wonderful feel for the Stockfish opens with e4 and we go into the two knights game or the fried liver attack, and this defense is mostly about open lines. Now knight d5 is a book move and it does two things. It attacks the knight on g5 and it also plans to come on f4 and attack the white bishop. Now if you see, everything is going on for black. Black has much space advantage. Black's pieces are more developed. You can see the knight over here, this bishop has open files to go. This bishop has open files to go, and both these knights are developed. So black has everything going for himself. And now black plays this move, which is, I believe, a very human move, and also most of our grandmasters would play this, because after knight takes bishop, these two double pawns restrict the development of the dark squared white bishop, and it will take time to develop this bishop, and in the meanwhile black can castle and place its pieces in its optimum position and attack the white king side. Okay, now if you see the pawn count, white has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pawns against 5 pawns of black. And here a very interesting move is c5, opening lines for the light squared bishop. Even if you see from a point of view of a chess player who would like attacking chess, these moves usually are very intuitive. You simply see that you have two bishop advantage and you want to develop them and place them in their optimum positions. After placing the bishop on b7, the black queen would like to go and attack on the king side. So this is very intuitive, this is very natural, not much deep calculation required. You can understand the moves just by looking at it. That is the beauty of AlphaZero. You don't have to go much deep. White develops its knight, black plays as usual. Now white needs to do something about its bishop. It has to come out. So b3, rook e8, again developing the rook to an open file. The knight is attacked, and so we exchange an active knight of whites to a much passive knight of black. And at this point black is doing very fine. I mean, black has all attacking possibilities. This bishop is attacking here, this is attacking here, the queen has an open file. Everything is going on, everything is going well for black. And here black plays queen to e6. This move has two usages. One is allowing the rook to come to e8 and threaten a back rank mate, and the other is to position the queen properly on the white king side so as to launch an attack. White has to develop the bishop, and here black plays rook to b8, again taking advantage of the open file and threatening something as simple as bishop takes g2 and winning a pawn, but I'm sure AlphaZero is not interested in that. Here white plays something which I think most of us would play in this position, taking a outpost on, say, b5 and also attacking the dark squared bishop. Yeah, but here black simply threatens a mate on g2. Now what would white do? White is tied up. The only decent defense seems nothing but queen to f1. And after this move, black simply plays this silent move, bishop f4. This I agree is not a human looking move, but if you see, f4 is the only square for this bishop where it won't be attacked or captured. This knight was already attacking the bishop on d6, and the c7 square is also taken by the knight. So f4 is the only square where this bishop is safe. And here Stockfish becomes a bit greedy and captures the pawn on a7. Now if you see the pawn count, black has 4 pawns against white's 6 pawns. I'm sorry, 7 pawns. So it's almost a piece up. 3 pawns is equal to a piece, or a knight or a bishop, so it's almost a piece up. But hey, we have open files, and open files can do devastating things in such open positions. Now, if you go to see, none of the white's so-called active pieces are doing anything. The knight is poorly placed on this a7 square. The bishop is absolutely doing nothing. Although it has an open file, it can't do anything. The rook is not doing anything. So what does black do here? Well, it's a very Karpovish kind of a move. If you go to see here, black has everything going for itself, so there is no blow. Black doesn't deliver a blow in its next move. But what black does is very important, that if you have a very good position, it is very important to not give your opponent counter chances. And what black does is black plays h6. AlphaZero plays very much like a human. As I said, h6 is a move which would have been played by Karpov, idea being improve your position, and in this case prevent any back rank mate chances by white. I believe according to AlphaZero, white is already lost here, so why not improve the position? And here Stockfish realizes that it is almost kind of lost and tries to do some defensive maneuvers. He plays bishop c3, and here I mean, it's a very human move to play. Again, it's queen h5, threatening mate in 1. h3, the only good defense. If white were to play something like g3, then black simply plays queen to f3, and there is no way to stop the mate on the square. So after h3, here what AlphaZero does is attack the knight and challenge the knight, tells him, hey, go back. Now I want to develop through this diagonal and come to g6. And here is the most crucial part of the game and the lesson. At this point, Stockfish didn't like knight b5, and we will see why. The rest of the game after rook takes knight is not much interesting. So the actual game went queen to d1, and after queen exchange, the knight is lost, and this is an AlphaZero converted it quite simply. So the rest of the game is not much interesting, and what is interesting is to find what happens after black plays knight b5. And now I would like you to pause the video and find what is black's next move. And the move is bishop to f3. Why? Because black wants to avoid white to exchange the queens by playing queen to d1. Just to avoid that and take control of this square, black played something like bishop f3. Just notice how none of white's pieces are helping white in any way to defend the onslaught of the attack on the king side. And after bishop f3, well, as I said earlier, black is also threatening rook a6 and g6, so it's a defensive measure. But anyway, white plays g3, which is okay, not that bad a move. But here black goes ahead with its plan and plays rook to a6, and to avoid pinning itself, white plays king h2. And here rook g6 is also a good move. rook to g6 is also a good move, but your AlphaZero plays queen to h4. None of it can be taken. The queen, of course, the queen can't be taken because it is pinned. But if white were to take the bishop, then black has to simply take this pawn, and after king moves, the rook will come to g6 and deliver mate. So going back, here the best move for white is to protect the pawn on g3, and so play queen g1. And after rook g6, black has to play, after rook g6, white has to play something like bishop a5 in order to prevent the rook going to g5 and h5. But anyway, after rook g5 and bishop d8, f6 is playable, and the game was lost. I mean, if white were to play, say, a waiting move like a4, then this is simply mate. So this is a very good example to understand how open files can lead to devastating attacks, and you don't have to think or analyze much. If you see from black's point of view, the play was very simple but sharp. And it's like when you have just started playing chess and you want to attack your opponent on the king side and deliver mate, and this is exactly what happened. But this happened in a very high class match between Stockfish 8 and AlphaZero. So it just goes to show how strong AlphaZero really is, and how it understands the game in a very human aspect. I just want to show you one nuance over here, that why didn't AlphaZero go bishop f3 right here and then get the rook from here to here? Well, the thing is, if black were to go bishop f3 right here instead of going rook to a8 as in the game, and here white has a simple resource of rook e1, and if rook to b6 with the same idea of going rook g6 as in the game, and here white has an excellent defense with knight to c8, and if black were to go to g6, we have a fork. So that's why rook a8. This was a simple small nuance which I thought I should share with you guys, and this point is also mentioned in the book Game Changer by Matthew Sadler and Natasha Regan. It's a very interesting read. I think all of you guys should have that book to understand how AlphaZero actually thinks. And so, keeping with the tradition, I would now enter the revision mode, and I would just like you to keep the recurring themes of open lines in your mind when you go through this game again, so it is embedded in your subconscious mind. Thank you for watching this videos, guys. Please like, comment and share, and subscribe to my channel Beauty of Chess 64. I'll see you again. Thank you.